What's up, rail fans? We're here at milepost 671.5, or abouts that, here on the Sunbury line, and check this little thing out. This is Norfolk Southern's greaser. Now, the reason I'm pointing this out is because back in CP days, this greaser looked a lot different. But even saying that it looked a lot different is a bit of an understatement. As shown here, back in the days of the Canadian Pacific, this particular greaser was a totally different device altogether. The purpose of a track greaser is to lubricate the wheel flanges on railroad equipment as to help ease the wear on tight curves such as compound curves, compensated curves, S-curves, and reversing curves. In other words, curves like the one further up grade on our favorite spot, which is the Lackawanna Avenue overpass. In theory, they help to reduce wear to the wheels and to the rails, and can also cut down on the squeal, like I said, in theory. If they're operating correctly, then they shouldn't cause any operational problems at all. But when they're not operating correctly, they can cause all kinds of problems. Problems such as adhesion loss when they apply more grease than they should. If a track greaser gets out of adjustment and pumps too much grease out, the ball of the rail gets coated and it becomes too slick. It can and has gotten so bad that upgrade trains have stalled out trying to get up and over the line, especially if it's raining and the rail is wet too. There's a link in the description to one of my earliest videos showing the damage that a track greaser can do. That's the dilemma of uphill trains. For downhill trains such as the CP train 458 passing in front of us, they can make it difficult to stop a train if the greaser is near a signal or a station. This train is rolling over the trigger that activates the flange greaser. Note how black and oily the rail sides are the closer you actually get to the greaser. I didn't know what this was at first when I saw it, but we'll take a closer look at the rails. And while we're doing that, let's take a look at another track greaser that I came across 2 years ago back in May of 2017. The place is Gallitzin, Pennsylvania, at the summit of Norfolk Southern's east and westbound ascents of the Allegheny Mountains. As you can see, the overflow of grease can be messy. Very messy. Back on the Sunbury subdivision 2 years before that, we get a detailed look at the mechanism of a Canadian-style greaser. Getting close, but not too close, we can see the metal trigger that activates the greaser. You can hear that activation as trains roll over that trigger. Looking down the line, despite the holocaust that the rail grinder left about 2 weeks ago, you can still see vegetation growing up along the lines. That's because we've had a lot of rain in the last 2 weeks. It's rained almost every day, and it's rained heavy. These aren't light little drizzles. It's been raining a lot. Moving our attention 100 feet or so from the greaser, I spotted this. Note the irregular shape of the angle bars as the height of the track increases to 132-pound rail as the trains move north. Personally, I think this is a bad place to put this greaser because it's on the upgrade. Now, I know why they did it for that S-curve there, right there, bearing off to the right, but going upgrade, putting a greaser like that, I don't know. That just seems like, to me, bad news. Okay, so enough about greasers. It's time to talk about what brought us to the tracks today. The all-ALCO powered Delaware Lackawanna short line has acquired yet another 6-axle diesel, the now ex-Western New York and Pennsylvania number 41. The hulking giant was built in 1970 as Canadian National number 2300 as an MLW M636. Since then, it's been derated and downgraded and classified as an M630. We first caught up with the 41 in Western New York and Pennsylvania's home base of Olean, New York, where it rested at the fuel and sanding tracks with other upstate New York brethren, including another semi-famous ALCO diesel, number 406. 406 is the ex-Delaware and Hudson RS3M number 506, which was also the Tioga Central number 506. It was repainted to celebrate America's Bicentennial in 1976 and later renumbered to 1976 and 4112 after that. The 41 is the second big 6-axle brute to join the DL ranks over the last couple of years following the 3007, another M630 that toiled for the Western Canadian Railroad, the Pacific Great Eastern. In the summer series of 2018, I introduced you to two other newbies to the DL ALCO family, the 4204 and the C420 number 7222. The DL3 is stopping momentarily at the south leg of the Steamtown Y so that the conductor can throw the switch for movement into the park. Once the train is off of NS rails, the switch will be thrown once again, locked in line for mainline movement. For us, this concludes our mainline adventure. For today, anyway. For Trains 21, call me AC.